Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the San Francisco 49ers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
On second down, here's Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Ryan Grant, the intended target. And it'll bring up third down. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. from the gun. Here's Newton. He gets away, and the Niners get there and bring him down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Able to haul it in. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Got his target, P.Garson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now McKinnon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle. We run through the starters now defensively for Carolina. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Over the middle to Garson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners have taken the early lead.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gould now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, and now he pulls him over. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on second down is Newton. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down, the run with Lynch. gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10, and in this case, they did it really successfully.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Following the penalty, Lynch. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. His throw incomplete. The safety, Ross Cockrell, there to knock that one away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll get it up the middle, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Throwing now is Garoppolo, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go. 11.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here we go. Set. 180.
Here's Newton now on second down. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Newton on third down. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Here we go. Set. 180.
Newton on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Newton. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Out of the gun, Newton. It's complete to Grant. That one goes for 24 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
From the red zone now, Newton. And he's got it. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Newton. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Set. 180.
Back to throw, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Set. 180.
To the air again, Newton. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Back 80.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Flush to his right. They'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. The Steelers still in that no-man's land. They need to win out, and they could get to 9-6 with a victory. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Albert Wilson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Tyreek Hill, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo who was brilliant in that first half. His guys have the lead as we send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K'Wan Short in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Play action. Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up in McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll take it at the 42. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's brought down. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Handoff comes to Lynch. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A first throw for the backup Foles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Right back to him on first down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Lynch. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Marshawn Lynch with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's all capped off by a Marshawn Lynch touchdown run. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
On the give, this is Lynch. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They're able to find Garson. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Foles. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. P.Garson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gold now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And now running right through it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week season, as this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Gano the extra point, and he makes the score 21-10. And they're able to get the connection on a long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after them right here. I want to put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football. You've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now full. Over the middle to Garson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's a give to Lynch. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Okay, baby, I see you. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I get the thought process. Third and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Panthers. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. You actually use their aggressiveness against them on that one and hit them big.
Absolutely. Haven't pinned on the 2. Not anymore. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Yeah, go, let's go.
On the handoff, Lynch. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing right around the midfield stripe. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though,
Yeah.
because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On first down, it's Newton. Brought in over the middle by Grant. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. To throw on second down is Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now Newton on first down. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Grant. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Newton throwing again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 2nd and 10. Newton again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Niners, it will wind up a 500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
you.